So I'm not sure if we're having a full moon or not, but it certainly looks like it could be a full moon. And I'm not finding any information online about whether or not there's a full moon today, but it's beautiful. And I just happened to be fixing myself a mocha here at my little sink and had to turn on the burners for warmth because it is right around 47, 48 degrees in Boston right now, and it's freezing in here. There's no heat. It's a gorgeous evening outside, though, obviously clear with no clouds, and this gorgeous almost full moon or full moon. Today is Monday, October 15th. It is Columbus Day, and I do call it Columbus Day because Columbus was not intending on hurting anybody when he explored new territories and new continents on behalf of the King and Queen of Spain, Isabella and Ferdinand, back in the 1490s. We can't really judge people from 600 years ago for having different ideas than we do now and for doing what they needed to do to explore the planet and figure out what was going on around them. Anyway, it's a gorgeous evening and it definitely feels like fall finally. Today was actually really cloudy, rainy, and cold, and it felt finally like an autumn day. We've had mostly sunny and warm days up until now, up until just yesterday. Yesterday was kind of the first cold, blustery, autumn, rainy day that we've had this whole season, and it finally felt like autumn. And over the last few days, I've been getting this really cool kind of Halloweeny vibe, kind of like a Halloween night kind of vibe. Even though Halloween is not yet upon us, it is 2 weeks away, but it feels like Halloween, and I've been loving that. And right now I'm listening to some cozy jazz. Was watching an episode of Midsummer Murders, one of my favorite British murder mystery shows. And I'm just getting, again, this very mystical autumn kind of feel. Things feel very kind of spooky, but a little bit enchanted, almost as if this is a witch's cottage. Although I certainly don't cast spells. I'm not a witch, and I don't really practice witchcraft in any way, shape, or form. It's just kind of got this like witchy kind of autumn Halloweeny feel. And I'm loving this evening. I put a lot of pressure on myself to get stuff done by certain deadlines, even when the deadlines are my imposition on myself and on my schedule. I don't have to do anything by tomorrow. The only thing I do have to do tomorrow is attend a few social events with my friends who are all like me. We're all very similar. We have similar ideas, similar lifestyles, similar levels of education, similar decisions. We've all made the decision not to have children or not to get married. We're kind of content with our freedom and with our ability to do whatever we want whenever we want. We're content with our ability to just go out and see our friends on the spur of the moment, to attend fabulous and fun social events whenever we want without having to like hire a babysitter and make arrangements for the 5 children to be put somewhere else. I mean, you can't do that if you have kids, right? So my friends and I are all in our early 50s or late 40s and deliberately child-free. And we enjoy that. We enjoy that kind of freedom. We enjoy being able to sleep in on Saturdays and Sundays. We enjoy having our income to ourselves and not having to put hundreds of thousands of dollars aside for college education or even just clothing and food and schooling. We are all aunts, so we all have nieces and nephews. And we have kids that we can see whenever we want. If we want to go visit our nieces and nephews, we certainly can do that. But we're not shackled to childcare and diaper changing and vomit cleaning and snot cleanup every single hour of every single day for 20 years, right? Freedom is important to us. So when you're 52, you're pretty much very happy to not have to deal with the burdensome obligations of childcare, right? So tomorrow, my only obligation really, like deadline wise, is to go hang out with my friends. But I did impose other deadlines on myself, which is why I'm making myself a coffee, even though it is 8:30 p.m. now on a Monday evening, Monday, October 15th, 2024. And I kind of want to get stuff done, but I don't have to. So this is my coffee. I don't drink wine. This is a water goblet, actually. It's not a wine glass. I will sip half a glass of wine at social events just because it's kind of the thing to do, or it makes you look like you're holding something in your hand. But I can't stand alcohol. I just don't like it. Never have, never will. So I'm not a drinker. I'm also not a drug user. I've never used drugs. I smoked maybe like 5 joints total my entire college career. And I don't like marijuana. It makes me really foggy and groggy for days. And I don't like to be foggy and groggy. I like to be sharp, on top of my game, and able to think clearly everywhere I go, regardless of what day of the week it is, regardless what time of the day it is. That's why I take a lot of coffee. Coffee is my drug of choice. It makes me alert, focused, it helps me wake up, and it helps me get things done. But in the meantime, there's this beautiful, gorgeous full moon or almost full moon, and it is just making everything this evening so Halloweeny, so autumn perfect. And that jazz music right now, while I'm having or going to be having my coffee, is just the icing on the cake. And you know what? Knowing me, I'll probably just finish watching my TV show, Midsummer Murders, which is actually an autumn episode and makes everything so perfect because in the show, they're all wearing these fabulous British autumn coats and boots, like the Wellington boots, the wellies as they call them. And I just love it. It's making everything so much more cozy and autumnal and fabulous. And yeah, this is like having an open fireplace. If the landlord is not going to provide heat when it's 47 or 48 degrees outside, then I'll just turn the burners on the stove for warmth and call inspectional services, which is what I've been doing for 3 years now. The landlord is incapable of providing functioning regular heat in this unit. So I'll just turn on the burners and use up a lot of gas and then call inspectional services. That's what I've had to do since 2021 when the landlord suddenly started. There's actually fall of 2020 when the landlord suddenly started failing to provide heat in this unit. I'll just pretend this is a fireplace because it kind of is. It definitely has an open flame and it provides heat. So this is my fireplace. And again, this beautiful full moon outside on October 15th. Today was a day off for most people in the state of Massachusetts and probably in other states as well, since many states still celebrate Columbus Day. I do believe that Native Americans should certainly have their own holiday, but I don't believe in stacking it up on the same day as Columbus. Everybody should have their own holiday. There's 365 days in the year. Everybody can have their own separate day to celebrate them and not worry about what somebody else was doing on that same day, 600 years ago, right? It's ridiculous. And look at this. It looks like a little, well, that looks like an airport, but that looks like a little cottage. It's a cute house, but it's kind of a big house. It's not a cottage. But right now, from where I'm standing, it looks like a cottage. So I'll just say it's a little cottage. And then there's that gorgeous almost full moon and the smooth jazz, which is awesome. And my friend painted this painting for me actually like 12 years ago and gave it to me. And at first I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this giant